Two, and a one. Bing, and we're live. Here we are. It's all the cameras on Thomas, cameras on me. Here we are. We're live. Woo! It is Friday. I think it's Friday. It's Friday. It's Modern Fowler Scrum, Agile Ventures. We've got some of the Co-op Academy juniors in with us. So these Agile Ventures is basically it's coding for good. It's hang out with cool people. It's I'm trying to boil it down into basically it's about trying to help people form teams of the developers from around the world who want to level up in their programming skills and do something meaningful in the process. So actually work on a charity project with a real charity client and kind of, rather than on a toy problem, like actually work with something of consequence, that's build something useful for a charity, and they get to practice not just the technology stack, but also the teamwork and the agile and the Scrum and so on. And so we have this hangout here is a regular thing, Modern Fowler, Monday to Friday. At this time, there's a Kent Beck, Scrum, Modern Fowler, Kent Beck, very big names in programming. You should definitely check them out. But I have another one at the end of the day. And then there's a Pacific Rim Scrum. There's a group of developers in the US who do another one. And the idea is that basically there's a drop-in Scrum like this that anybody can participate in anytime and hear about what's going on in the projects and potentially, get involved in a project or start pair programming online. So I'll kick us off, and I know for the juniors, I'm not going to put you on the spot. I mean, Thomas and I will do our little Scrum thing that we do, and then we'll move on to you. Anybody who wants to join in and say what's going on with them or things that are particularly blocking them, they can certainly do that. We also try and keep this down to 15 minutes, and I'm going to have to turn that phone off. These come here. Oh, yeah. Thanks. These junk phone calls. What to do? Anyway, so updates from me. Big thing we did yesterday was we did a new Elixir pairing session. So Elixir and Phoenix are kind of a hot new. Elixir is a language. Phoenix is a framework, a bit like Rails, that allows you to build web apps. And so we did a new Premium Plus pairing session with Federico and got Phoenix installed on 3 different boxes and got that working. That was great fun yesterday. We've got another follow-up session with that happening next Tuesday. Main things that I'm struggling with at the moment, the local support project, which is in a sort of a network of charities. It's a sort of charity directory. We're still working through, I blogged about this yesterday, we're still working through the consequences of having had a small failing test managed to get into the develop branch. We're almost out of the woods there. You can read my blog. I post my blogs in Craft Academy Tech Talk if you want to hear all about that kind of fun. I think we're getting there. Main thing happening today for me is I've got a big meetings with Website One group, that's the Agile Ventures site management team, and then also with the meeting with instructors around the world who use the Autograders project. So there's this big framework for automatically grading student assignments, and we have a number of instructors all around the world using that big client meeting for that later today. Another thing with Agile Ventures is we practice not just open source but open development. So all of the meetings with the clients, all of the scrums, all of the pairing, everything is open videoed if you have time to watch it, just to kind of give people a feel for how it all looks. But yeah, that's things with me. Thomas, let's hear from you. What's going on your side of the world?
Yes, well, my side of the world is primarily occupied by students of Craft Academy.
Absolutely, and we always want to hear about them.
Yes, they're making good progress. They've been exposed to. They are exposed to a lot of things on many different levels. Both programming, communication, planning, agile methods, best practices, etc., etc. And I think their heads hurt. I just finished a breakout session that was supposed to take 15 minutes. It took like an hour or something because we had to talk about a lot of things. But it's great fun. But in terms of Agile Ventures, I still try to recruit some of the seniors to the Project Unify work, unsuccessfully. I think they're busy with other stuff that I throw at them. I don't know really. But one good thing that could spill off on Agile Ventures is that, we've had some client meetings in Craft Academy Labs where we pitched the model of ours, that we have employed in Craft Academy Labs, with the kickoff meeting, the sprint design, and some, assessing complexity and things like that. That I would like, so I have some insights and some feedback from clients that I would like to share with you. So perhaps we can reuse some of that in the domain of agile ventures.
Sounds great.
Because
Yeah.
I'm thinking about this yesterday. I don't know what happened with Charles and those plans, about projects, but there is a big need to for this kind of services, but also I think that agile ventures could be a good playground to test various workflows with clients, and how to approach projects and stuff.
Absolutely, yeah. Well, so it sounds like you and I should have a chat separately. I guess you let me know when you're free, and we'll definitely get down and have that chat.
Absolutely.
Good stuff.
So apart from that, I know that you guys have been dealing with Elixir, and I was like tempted to jump in there, but I just can't bring myself to learn a new programming language at this point because
sure,
I have
absolutely
way too much. But I stumbled upon the Vault framework, which is a Ruby framework for React.
Yes.
Basically, I don't know. Have you looked at it? Something?
I haven't. I heard about on Ruby Rogues. They were talking the other day.
Yeah.
But yeah, I haven't. Is that Ruby code in the browser?
Yeah.
Yes. I was using Opal for a similar thing, but okay. So Vault's a new one, maybe. Yeah. Go on.
Yeah. No. I'm gonna do one of there's a basic tutorial like everybody else has the to-do list. So we'll do that, and I'm considering doing that as a agile venture thing, so we can perhaps bring some people in and see if that's if that can make
that would
difference.
Be excellent. Yeah, no, I see that here, and so it's using Opal under the hood, which I've played with before. That would be fantastic.
Okay.
Yeah, we definitely get. I mean, I think my blog today is all about how I think we probably need to branch out and do just more things because all work and no play makes Craft Academy students and adventures people dull people. If you know what I mean. All right, excellent.
Yeah. So that's about it on my side from Jovic. I will not be able to do any coding this weekend or anything, but I'll check in with you on Monday, I guess.
Good stuff. Excellent. Thank you so much, Raul. How are things with you?
Morning, everyone. Things are okay. I just this morning did a bit of code review on some of the senior stuff. They did some project at Craft Academy, and I also cut I left a few comments on some issues, and I merged a pull request on website 1.
Oh, excellent.
This morning.
Thank you.
So I'll probably push that up to production as well today.
Fantastic. So is that the users one? So we're going to
the users one
on that page. Fantastic.
Yep.
Excellent.
Yeah. And so there's that, and we have a meeting this afternoon.
Yeah, we'll see you 3 p.m. your time, which is your UTC plus 2. I'm UTC plus 1, so 2 p.m. my time. See you there. Excellent. That's so that's the Agile Ventures folks. We've got I'll go to Amber's room there because we said hello earlier when you joined in. Amber and friends. Anything to report from your side? Tell us about your coding journey. That's all relevant, or just say as much or as little as you like.
I'm Amber. Things are going okay. This week was pretty rough. I have a bit of a coding background, so the previous 2 weeks for me were a little bit smoother. We learned a lot of resources this week, so we had a lot of stress trying to figure out how they work. But I think towards the end of this week, we sort of things started making more sense to us after 3 days of just doing a bunch of research. Like we're finally starting to be able to use some of these tools we're learning. So I'm glad we learned them, and we'll be able to use them going forward. So it's good.
All right.
Just to bring you up to speed, Sam, they are building a Sinatra application. I know that you love the Sinatra framework. So.
I do like Sinatra. Yeah,
yes.
Big fan of that.
So they are getting their hands dirty in Sinatra, but also in workflow. Some basic agile best practices or principles that So it's been tough on many levels for these guys.
Indeed. Yes. Well, I used to run the Makers Academy bootcamp in London, and I think what you're describing there, Amber. Some people would come in with a little bit of coding background, so the first couple of weeks might be quite easy, and then there'd be this new level. And doing a boot camp is kind of, you're basically beating on your brain with a stick every day, all day, and it's really, it's hard work. And so my empathies go out there. I just posted a link actually in the Craft Academy Tech Talk. There was a Ruby Rogues, I don't know if you're into podcasts, but there's a guy called Justin Weiss who's written a book about kind of trying to get into these things. But he talks about, like it's particularly aimed at, for new developers or developers who are moving into different areas. So that might be relevant. But I think a lot of the challenge is emotional sometimes. But anyway, I'll leave that there. Thank you for sharing, Amber. Let's go on to Jesper. Hey, Jesper, how are you doing? Jesper and friends.
Hello.
Hey there. Yeah. So welcome to Agile Ventures. I don't know if you heard my intro at the beginning. We're just going around. We do this. People around the world. We meet up in these scrums and sort of coordinate on whatever people are doing. We try and keep it down to 15 minutes. But it's a sort of forum where you can sort of say how you feel about your coding journey, or if you're stuck on a particular tech problem, you can share that with us. How are things going for you guys?
I mean, there's just so much information. We're just trying to absorb as much as possible.
Yeah, no, it's a comment. I mean, basically, you're trying to do doing a bootcamp is trying to do the kind of impossible thing of like squeeze all of this information into your brain, and it's sort of
use it.
Well, yeah, absolutely. Squeeze the information, use it. It's just it's sort of too much. I mean, it's a process of being in a bootcamp. It's kind of being pushed to your limit, and you will have sort of a collapse, if not 1, 2, or 3, or 4 times. And it's sort of all about having a safe space in which you can collapse. If you were sort of learning it on the job, and you then have the kind of then you risk losing the job. Whereas the lovely Craft Academy or whichever bootcamp you're in gives you this space in which to push yourself to your limits and fail. And the trick is not feeling. I think everybody ends up feeling awful inside, but it's a wonderful opportunity. It's a fantastic journey that you're on. And I know Thomas and Raoul will be looking after you. You also get, as a result of being Craft Academy members, you get premium membership from Agile Ventures. So I'll be around to help support you when you get onto more open-ended projects and things. And this part of, I think, where we're doing this today is to introduce myself to you. I mean, I'm Sam Joseph. I've been coding for 30 years. I've been doing all sorts of languages. Agile is my special thing. So hopefully I can be available as a resource for you going forward.
Thank you.
Great.
You're most welcome. I focus on Jesper and Amber there. Does anybody else in the code anything to share or any thoughts at all at this time?
No, you basically covered it.
All right, good stuff. Well, we're hitting now the 15-minute. One of the important things about scrums is to sort of time cap them. So we cap these at 15 minutes. We're hitting the top of the 15 minutes. I think we've covered about everything. Is there any urgent business that anybody has? If not, we'll call that a wrap. I'll turn the broadcast off.